Namaskaram, girls. Till now, we have learned in the monetary economics the definition of money, barter system, and the evaluation of money. That means how money has been invented and the changes of transaction, isn't it? In the early days, people they use barter system, that is goods and services exchanged for goods and services. So they found so many difficulties in the barter system. Then the metallic standard it came into existence. In that metallic standard, copper, iron, gold standard and silver standard, and then the paper currency was introduced. After the paper currency, now we have plastic money, isn't it? The credit card, debit cards, smart cards, and other cards are called plastic money. And the latest form of money is cryptocurrency, that is digital currencies or digital transaction. And then we studied the functions of money, the primary functions, that is medium of exchange and the measure of value. And in the secondary functions, the important function is store of value and standard of deferred payment. And also we have studied the contingent function and other function. After that, we have learned the supply of money. What do you mean by supply of money? Nothing but the money which is in the circulation in the particular period of time is called supply of money. That is the quantity of money in the particular period. Circulation in the particular period of time is called supply of money. And then we have studied in the supply of money, we studied M1, M2, M3 and M4. M1 and M2 is called narrow money, and M3 and M4 is called broad money. And then we studied the determinants of supply, money supply, isn't it? CDR, RDR, CRR and SLR, that is cash reserve ratio, statutory liquidity ratio, cash deposit ratio, reserve deposit ratio, everything we have learned. And today we are going to learn the quantity theories of money. This quantity theories of money explains the relationship between the quantity of money with the value of money, or else the supply of money with the value of money. So this quantity theories they explains the relationship between the quantity of money with the value of money. I already told you, if the supply of money is more, there will be inflation. The prices will be increased. There will be increase in the price which leads to inflation. And at the same time, the value of money will be decreased. I gave an example. If you have 100 rupees, you are going to purchase things, you will give much importance, preference to the things which you required immediately. But at the same time, if you have 1000 rupees, you never bother about the preference and other things. You can buy all the things whatever you like. So if the supply of money is more in our hands, the value of money will be less. Vice versa, isn't it? Here in the quantity theories, we have two approaches. One is Fisher's transaction approach. The another one is Gambridge cash balance approach. The two approaches we are going to learn in this quantity theories of money. The first one, Fisher's transaction approach, that is Irving Fisher's quantity theory of money. This theory, it was propounded in the year 1588 by an Italian economist, Devan Sati. He has introduced this theory of money, but it was popularized by Irving Fisher in his book The Purchasing Power of Money, which was published in the year 1911. So actually the quantity theory was propounded by an Italian economist Devansati, but it was popularized by Irving Fisher, an American economist, uh, in his book The Purchasing Power of Money, which was published in the year 1911. So if we talk about the quantity theory of money, Irving Fisher has given the famous equation. That is MV is equal to PT. This is the famous equation given by Irving Fisher in his quantity theory of money. MV is equal to PT. Now let us see what is M and V. M refers to money supply or the circulation of money. V refers to velocity of money. Velocity of money. P refers to price. T refers to transaction. Transaction of trade or volume of transaction. Volume of transaction. So this is the famous equation given by Irving Fisher. MV is equal to PT, where M stands for money supply or the circulation of money. V stands for velocity of money. P stands for price level. And T stands for volume of transaction. That is, the MV is equal to always PT. That means, in a country, during a given period of time, the total quantity of money will be equal to the total value of goods and services. What is MV is equal to PT? That is, the total circulation of money or the supply of money will be equal to the total price or value of the goods and services in a particular period of time. M, you all know, money supply. What do you mean by velocity of money? Have you heard in physics velocity? வீச்சு அப்படின்னு தமிழ்ல சொல்வாங்க. For example, I have 100 rupees in my hand. I am going to purchase a notebook for 80 rupees. And 20 rupees I bought a pen. So I hand over the 100 rupees to a shopkeeper and I bought two things. So the money is moved from my hand to the shopkeeper. That 100 rupees he is going to hand over to the purchaser where he is purchasing. So he hand over that same 100 rupees to the purchaser where he is getting from his books and pens at the wholesale rate. So my 100 rupees moved from my hand to the shopkeeper hands, and the shopkeeper he handed over to the wholesale trader. Now the wholesale trader he has to give the money to the producer. So the money is moving from the shopkeeper hands to the wholesale trader to the producer. Now the 100 rupees has moved 4 times, isn't it? From my hand, from shopkeeper, from the wholesale dealer, and to the producer. So the velocity of money is 400. Do you understand what is velocity? Velocity means how many times the money is circulated. That is velocity. So the 100 rupees has been circulated 4 times. So the velocity of money is 400. So the supply of money and the velocity of money is equal to the price level and the volume of transaction. And here in the MV is equal to, here we told the supply of money is equal to the demand for money, isn't it? Price means the demand. So supply of money is equal to demand for money. And in this equation, if you want to find out the price in a particular period, MV is equal to PT is the formula. If you want to find out P, what you have to do? MV by T. Then you can get P, isn't it? So, the quantity of money determines the price level, and the price level in turns varies directly with the quantity of money, where provided V and T is constant. So, the price is determined by the supply of money, where this both are constant. இது ரெண்டு கான்ஸ்டண்டா இருக்கும்போது price determine பண்றது supply of money தான். And in the equation we need to consider only the currency notes. But in the modern economy we have the demand deposits in bank and the credit money. It is also plays its vital role in the velocity part. இல்லையா? பேங்க்ல வச்சிருக்கிற டெபாசிட்ல வச்சிருக்கிற பணம், கிரெடிட்ல கொடுத்துருக்க பணம் எல்லாமே வெலாசிட்டியில இன்க்ளூட் ஆகணும். ஒன்ஸ் எப்படினாலும் அது வெளியில வரும், சர்க்குலேஷனுக்கு வந்துடும். ஸோ இந்த மாடர்ன் டைம் த டிமாண்ட் டெபாசிட் அண்ட் ஆல்சோ த கிரெடிட் money should be included. So Irving Fisher, he extended his equation to including the M1 as bank deposit, V1 for its velocity. So his revised equation is PT is equal to MV plus M dash V dash. Here the M dash refers to the quantity of money, the volume of bank credit money. And V1 refers to the velocity of circulation of credit money. So MV already you know, M1 is equal to the bank deposit money, V dash refers to the credit circulation money. So later he included the M dash V dash to his theory. Let us explain this theory by a diagram. I already told you, when the supply of money is more, there will be increase in the price, which leads to inflation. The first itself I informed you, isn't it girls? If the circulation of money is more, the price will increase, which leads to inflation. So let me explain the diagram. Here this is price. Here I am writing quantity of money. I already told you, if the quantity of money is more, there will be increase in the price. The supply of money is more. நம்ம கையில் நிறைய பணம் இருந்துச்சுன்னா we never bother about the price. We will give money and we will get the things. Isn't it, girls? That is true. So if the supply of money or the quantity of money is more, the price will increase. There will be a positive relationship between the quantity of money and price. So what would be? Your curve will be upward sloping. See, in the OM amount of money, the price is OP. Now the money has been increased to OM1. See, then the price also increased OP1. Still there is an increase in the quantity of money or supply of money, and there will be an increase in the price also. So between the quantity of money and the price, there is a positive relationship. That is, if the supply of money is more, the price is more. There will be an increase in the price. If the supply of money is less, the price of the product will be less. But at the same time, here quantity of money, here value of money. பணத்தோடைய மதிப்பு நான் ஏற்கனவே சொல்லியிருக்கேன். If the quantity of money is more, the value of money is less. இல்லையா, உங்களால் நிறைய பணம் இருந்தால் பணத்துக்கு மதிப்பே இருக்காது. We never bother about that. We never give conscious to spend the money, isn't it? So if the quantity of money is more, the value of money will be less. So there is a negative relationship. The negative relationship curve always downward sloping. See, when the quantity of money is OM, the value of money is OV. OM அளவு தான் என்கிட்ட பணம் இருக்குது. வேல்யூ ஆஃப் மணியை பார்த்தீங்கன்னா OV. My money has been increased. என்கிட்ட OM1 அளவு பணம் வந்துருச்சுன்னா the value of money is decreasing. Still there is an increase in my amount. There will be a decrease in the value of money. So there is a negative relationship between the quantity of money and the value of money. Do you understand, girls? There is a positive relationship between the quantity of money and the price. If the quantity of money increases, the price also increase. Or if the supply of the money increases, the price also increase. But at the same time, there is a negative relationship between the quantity of money and the value of money. If the quantity of money is increasing, the value of money will be decreased. This is Irving Fisher's quantity theory of money. Do you understand the picture explanation? It's there in your book. If you read, you can find out. So here, price is determined by the supply of money. Price is the function of money. If the money is more, price will be more. The money supply is less, price will be less. But at the same time, here the value of money is also determined by the money supply, but there is a negative relationship. If the quantity of money is more, the value of money is less. If the quantity of money is less, the value of money is more. I already gave you as an example. நம்ம கையில் ஒரு 20 ரூபாய் மட்டும் இருந்துச்சுன்னா அதை பார்த்து வச்சுக்கிட்டே இருப்போம், செலவழிக்காமல் இருக்கும். அதே இது 200 ரூபாய் இருந்துச்சுன்னா ஈஸியாக போய் எதுனாலும் வாங்கணும் வைக்கணும்னு நமக்கே தோணும். We tempt to do spend money, isn't it? ஸோ நம்ம கையில் பணம் நிறைய இருந்துச்சுன்னா செலவழிக்க தோணும். பணத்தினுடைய அருமை தெரியாது, பணத்தோட மதிப்பே தெரில, பணத்தோட அருமையே தெரிலன்னு வீட்டில் சொல்லி கேட்குறோம்ல. ஸோ பணம் நிறைய இருந்தால் பணத்துக்கு மதிப்பு இல்லாமல் போயிடும். பணம் அதே மாதிரி பணம் நிறைய இருந்தால் விலையும் அதிகமாக இருக்கும். ஸோ there is a positive relation between the quantity of money and the price, and there is a negative relationship between the quantity of money and the value of money. This is Irving Fisher's approach. And the next one is Cambridge economist cash balance approach. Cambridge economist cash balance approach. Here we have two approaches in the Cambridge cash balance approach. The one is Marshall's approach. Marshall's equation. The other one is Keynes approach. Keynes equation. These two are the equations we are going to learn in the Cambridge cash balance approach. Marshall equation is M is equal to KPY. And Keynes approach is equal to N is equal to PK. Or P is equal to N by K. Now let us see. In Fisher's equations we learn MV is equal to PT, where M stands for supply of money, V stands for velocity of money, P stands for price, and T stands for volume of transaction. In the same way, Cambridge cash balance approach, we are going to see the Marshall's equation M is equal to KPY, where M stands for the quantity of money, that is money supply, and K stands for the fraction of the real income which the public desire to hold in the form of money. M, money supply or the quantity of money. K refers to real income. What do you mean by real income? I already taught you the real income, which shows how much amount of goods we are able to buy with the quantity, with the amount of money is called real income. ஒரு பொருளை நம்ம எவ்வளவு விலை கொடுத்து வாங்குகிறோம் அப்படிங்கிறது தான் ரியல் இன்கம். நம்ம அந்த பொருளுடைய மதிப்பு, பர்ச்சேசிங் பவர் தான் ரியல் இன்கம். ஸோ K is the fraction of the real income where the public desire to hold in the form of money. இப்போ இந்த பணத்தை வச்சு நம்ம எவ்வளோ பொருள் வாங்கலாம் அப்படின்னு ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட அளவு பணத்தை கையில் வச்சுருக்காங்களா பப்ளிக், அதுதான் K. P is equal to purchasing power. And Y is equal to aggregate real income of the community, total real income. Aggregate means total. ஒவ்வொருத்தராக இண்டிவிஜுவலாக வாங்குறது எல்லாத்தையும் சேர்த்தோம்னா அக்ரிகேட். ஸோ உன்னோட பர்ச்சேசிங் ரியல் இன்கம் எவ்வளவு, அது மூலமாக நீ எவ்வளோ பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்ணுற, இது உனக்கு மட்டும் இல்லை ஹோல் சொசைட்டி கம்யூனிட்டிக்கும், இது எல்லாத்தையும் ஆட் பண்ணால் அந்த சப்ளை ஆஃப் மணி கிடச்சிரும் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறது மார்ஷலுடைய கேம்பிரிட்ஜ் அப்ரோச். பட் அட் த சேம் டைம் கீன்ஸுடைய அப்ரோச் என்னது, N is equal to PK or P is equal to N by K. Here N refers to the total supply of money. P நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியும், price level. And here K stands for the total quantity of consumption units the people decide to keep in the form of cash. அதே தான் நம்ம இங்கே சொல்லியிருக்காருல ரியல் இன்கம், அதைத்தான் இங்கே கேன்னு அவர் சொல்கிறாரு. டோட்டல் கன்சம்ஷனுக்காக மக்கள் கையில் வச்சுருக்கக்கூடிய பணம். இந்த கேவும் ஒன்று தான், பட் தே ஹவ் கிவன் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் நேம். கீன்ஸுடைய அப்ரோச்சில் n is equal to pk or p is equal to n by kங்கிறதுல n refers to the total supply of money in the given period of time, p refers to the price level, and k refers to the real balance, that is the total quantity of consumption units the people decide to keep in the form of cash. But Keynes extended his equation by n is equal to p k plus r and k. That is, r refers to cash reserve ratio and k dash refers to community's total money deposit in the bank. So the same way how Irving Fisher extended his equation by m dash and b dash, Keynes also extended his equation by n is equal to p plus k plus r k dash. He extended his equation by n is equal to p k plus r k dash. Here the k refers to the people's desire to hold the money, r refers to cash reserve ratio, and k refers to the amount of money deposited in the bank. So Keynes also included the amount which is deposited in the bank for the people for their consumption purpose. So these are the three quantity theories. Today we learned the first one, Irving Fisher's quantity theory of money. The equation, the famous equation MV is equal to PT, that is called a transaction approach, and Gambridge cash balance approach. Here we have two approaches. One is Marshall, the another one is Keynes. Marshall's equation is equal to M is equal to KPY, where M stands for money supply, K stands for the real income, and P stands for purchasing power, Y stands for aggregate real income. And Keynes equation is equal to N is equal to Pk or P is equal to N by K, where N is equal to total supply of money, P refers to price level, and K is equal to total consumption that the people desire to hold in the form of cash. And he extended his equation by N is equal to P plus K plus R K dash, where R refers to the cash ratio, that is cash ratio, and K dash refers to the total money deposit in the bank. So these are the three theories we have learned today. Among this, Irving Fisher's quantity theory of money is an important question, and usually they will ask MV is equal to PT, where M stands for, what is V stands for. They will ask each and everything. So you should be very careful while you are writing. V refers to velocity of money, M refers to money supply, P refers to price level, and T refers to volume of transaction. So these are the often asked question. MV is equal to PT, what is M stands for, what is V stands for. They will ask one word questions. You should be very careful, girls. After watching this video, read the book pages only, then it will be easy for you. You can understand easily. The next one we are going to see is inflation. If you have any doubts, you can ask me, girls. Are you all clear, girls? Will you be able to understand? Could you be able to follow me? Will you be able to follow me, girls? These are very important questions. The quantity theory of money is an important question, ma. Don't omit this. Try to understand the concept and then learn. Thank you, girls.